everyone, this is Sahara Rose from Sahara Rose Travels. Thank you so much for tuning into my very first video. Just give me a minute. I'm going to just make sure that this is shared out. Please feel free to share this video as well. So today I'm going to be talking about a little bit about my story. Everyone wants to know how I was able to travel the world. Traveled to over 75 countries by the age of 30. So I'm going to today teach you the 5 key elements that I use to be able to travel the world and that you can use to be able to travel on any budget as well. So to start off, a little bit about my story. I am an only child from a single mom in a middle class family. I always have had dreams to travel, but I never knew that it would be possible for somebody like me. How would I always thought, just like everyone else thinks, it's so expensive. It just doesn't seem possible. So fast forward years later, when I was in university, it took about my a course that I was in tourism that it kind of all just a spark was lit within me. And hi Jeanette, thanks for joining in today and watching me. The first day of this tourism course, we had to go around the classroom and we would introduce ourselves and say how many countries we've been to and what they were. And at that time in my life, I had only been to a couple of places. Mexico every year. My grandma's from there, but I didn't remember always going. Same thing with Canada. My grandpa and his family are from there. I've been there several times when I was little, but didn't really remember. Been around the U.S. to a few states at the time, and a Dominican Republic family all-inclusive trip I went to. But there were a lot of other students who, like foreign exchange students or people from Europe, and who had like 5, 10, 15 countries they've been to, and I was in such awe. And as well as learning how many countries my professor had been to, I was like, I'm going to do that. I am going to be able to travel, and I am going to, hi Jeanette, I'm going to travel, and I am going to see the world. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to make it happen. So I graduated university in 2010, and I worked the summer, and then I packed my first bag and went to Western Europe, which was my very first backpacking trip. I did that for a month and a half. I had no idea what I was doing. I tried doing so much research and everything. I got so overwhelmed. And so I just kind of winged it and just learned a lot from then. And that was 8 years ago. So I went for a month and a half. I came back home for the holidays, and I repacked my bag and went 2.5 months to, hi Judy, 2.5 months to Central America, and that was my second backpacking trip. And I kind of got the travel bug from there, and it never really went away. But in order to sustain a lifestyle like that, to be able to travel so much, people ask me so many questions like, how do you afford it, and how is that possible? Don't you have a job? It's all possible, and yes, I have had jobs. I was able to fund my 75 countries by the age of 30, all on my own funds. And in my videos, I'm going to teach you exactly how I did that and what you can do to be able to do that as well. In my videos, I'm going to give you all of my information on how I'm able to travel so much, and give you all the travel tips and tricks, and see what is right for you and how you can use those, and how travel can benefit you and your life as well. So if you're tuning in now, thanks Jeanette and Judy for joining me. If you're tuning in now, my name is Sahara Rose. I'm from Sahara Rose Travels, and I've been to over 75 countries by the age of 30. And in my videos, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do the same. I'm going to teach you in this video the 5 key elements that I use to be able to travel so much, and how you can use those to be able to travel the world on any budget as well. So let's get started. So the very first tip is money management. What is money management? Well, it's basically managing your own money, like staying on a budget, and that's doable with any job that you have. And so I've never worked in the corporate world. I never had a high-paying job. I never won the lottery. I didn't have a trust fund. These are all questions that I get from people on how I'm able to fund my travels. I've never had people pay for my travels. It's all on my own funds. And I just learned to find jobs, work hard, and manage my money really well. And that money management part is key. If you make money, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you make money and you don't manage it well and save it properly, it doesn't matter how much you have because you don't have the funds now to travel. And so setting a budget and how to save the money are really, really important. And the number two, I'm going to do a video on money management. I'm going to teach you, go really far into depth on money management, how you're able to whatever job you have, we can figure out a plan for you that works for you and how to set goals, set budgets, stick to those budgets, savings. Because when I travel, I set certain limits. So I'm like, I need X amount of money and then I'll go on this trip, or I'm going to spend X amount on this trip roughly. And it's all about setting goals and managing money and staying on a budget. Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to feel free to drop in questions along the way. I'm going to have a Q&A at the end of this session, so I'll answer a lot of everyone's questions. My goal is to be able to help everyone and anyone travel the world, so whenever you have questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm going to be posting a lot of videos from here on, so I'll be covering a lot of topics, going far into depth in certain ones as well. So again, if you're tuning in, I'm Sahara from Sahara Rose from Sahara Rose Travels. I told a little bit about my story, how I was able to travel 75 countries by the age of 30, and I'm teaching the 5 key elements that I use to be able to travel the world so much, and how you can use those too to travel on a budget, on any budget, on whatever income that you're making. It's completely doable to travel to any extent or any amount that you want to travel. So first one is money management. The second one is travel hacks. So what are travel hacks? To me, travel hacks are anything that you can use or do to save you money when it comes to traveling. And that could include budget accommodations, budget flights, how to save money when shopping abroad, like bargaining, how to minimize getting taken advantage of by like taxi drivers or wasting money in certain ways, because when you travel, every dollar counts. So if you took a taxi cab that way overcharged you because you didn't know how much that you should have expect or bargained for, and let's say $3 was ripped off, that $3 could get you 1, 2, 3 more meals in certain countries. So every dollar counts. So when you learn these travel hacks, it's really, really important, and that's a huge way that I was able to travel so much. And yeah, you could say all that information is out there. Like my favorite website is Skyscanner. So a lot of people say, oh, I've read the blogs, or I've read I've seen all this information out there. I have all these travel tips and tricks already, and I do some of them. I use some of the websites. Well, great, like you should. But why are people are still struggling to be able to travel so much? So what I teach and the skills that I learned is I learned how to master each of these hacks. So for instance, the Skyscanner site that I use, I mastered the way to be able to find certain flights and flight deals and like budget flights, and by using certain hubs or hubs are like airports, like main airports, by using certain countries or certain hub airports to be able to find good travel deals. But it takes a lot of effort and time to do that, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. So yeah, it takes time to be able to use travel hacks, but it's all worth it because it saves you a lot of money in the long run. So first was money management, 2 is travel hacks, and the third one is mindset. And what do I mean by mindset? Mindset, I categorize that into 2 things. Why do you want to travel, and are you ready to travel? And why I say that is because you have to kind of figure out before you go on a trip, why do you want to travel? Are you looking for an escape? Are you looking for adventure? Are you looking for running away from problems at home? Did you just break up a relationship? Are you looking to make new connections with people, or to network, or to use travel to figure out your career path, or just to take time off? Are you to distress? Do you just want to lay on a beach? Why do you want to travel? And then the second one is, are you ready to travel? Because even though you want to travel, you may not be ready mentally. And that's a huge thing, because you can have all the bits and pieces ready and into play, have everything booked and tours booked and everything like that. But if you're not mentally ready to travel, it's going to ruin your trip, and you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to be open to accepting the fullness out of what you can get from traveling. So that is really, really key. So with mindset, why do you want to travel, and are you ready to travel? And within mindset, we talk about how to overcome all your fears and anxieties when it comes to traveling, because that's a huge thing too. A lot of people are really, really scared to travel, which I get it. I understand. I had a lot of the same fears and anxieties as well. So I get that question a lot, like, aren't you scared? Is that safe? So I'm going to go really into depth when I do individual videos on all of these 5 key elements, and including mindset. And in mindset, I'll talk about how to be able to get over and overcome those fears, anxieties, and objections to traveling. And that way you're open to experiencing travel the way that you should. Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for joining. Hi, Cody. So if you guys are just tuning in, I'm going over the 5 key elements that I use to be able to travel to 75 countries on my own funds. So the first one was money management. 2 is travel hacks to use, and 3 was mindset, and the 4th one I have is spiritual purpose. So you may say, Sahara, what the heck does that mean? What is spiritual purpose? So what I mean by that is, how are you open to receiving everything that you can out of traveling? What is your calling for traveling? How is travel going to benefit you? Will it benefit you as a person? Is it going to help you figure out your career path? Are you going to do soul searching? Are you open-minded enough to be able to relate and understand and experience other cultures and religions and beliefs? And because if you go into a trip and with a closed mind and a closed heart, you're not going to get the full benefit out of traveling, and that's huge as well. So you're not going to last very long. You're not going to go very far if you're not open to it. So spiritually open yourself to traveling, and open yourself to the people and the experiences and the foods, and really searching for how travel has affected and benefited you. For instance, I will not be the person that I am if it wasn't for traveling. And why do I say that? I say that because traveling has taught me so much over the years. I have it has really molded me into the person that I am by what I've saw, what I've experienced, who I've met, and so that's why opening yourself to travel is really, really big. So that's spiritual purpose. So then the 5th one, so we have the money management, the travel hacks, the mindset, the spiritual purpose. And then the 5th one is, it's the easiest one to explain, but it's usually the hardest one to do, and that is action. And what do I mean by that? And that's just doing it, just booking the ticket and going. And that's usually the hardest part that people have to do. So they can sit there and you are on the internet and you look at all the Instagram and you create boards and you write your lists and you check off a map and you're like, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I get that for people all the time. I want to travel and I want to do this and I want to go here and I'm going to do that one day, but they don't do it. Why are you not doing it? So action is accumulation of using all the other 4 elements that I just listed. So figuring out, why do you want to travel, using the travel hacks to be able to get the deals that you have, that you want, using money management to set goals and budgets and staying on it, and learning new skills. So all of that leads up to action, and that's actually doing it. So it's always the first step that is the hardest when it comes to traveling. But I promise you that once you start traveling, it just opens your life up to something that you never imagined. So, which is why I continue to travel. And yeah, so hi Mari, thanks. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Hey James. Thank you everyone for watching so far. As you can tell, I'm really nervous. This is my first video, but I'm really excited to be sharing with you all of my, hey Nick, tips and tricks. I've been asked so many times over the years how I'm able to travel, how do I fund it and everything, and there's really no magic potion. Everyone thinks that I have a certain secret or I won the lottery and I have a ton of money. Like, no, it's none of that, and it's completely doable. And the reason I want to teach these videos is because it's completely possible, because if someone like me can do it, someone like you can do it. So if you're someone who is in the midst of, you just graduated high school and you're going into college and you're not sure if you want to go right into university or if you want to take time to travel, because there's something within you that's saying that you want to adventure and you want to figure out exactly what life path you want, or you're in your job and you're trying to figure out how to have a better work balance, work-life balance, and you just kind of want to fill like this void. You're just not fully happy. You want to seek adventure and you want to seek what else is out there, what else is meant for me, and you can all use that and attain that through travel and adventure, which is why I just love sharing all these videos and in hopes that I can help all of you do the same thing. Hey Phil. So again, I just want to go over, so today I just shared a little bit about my story of how I was able to travel to so many countries. And I told you the 5 key elements to that I use to be able to travel to 75 countries by the age of 30. And please, hey guys, love the knowledge exposure, keep at it. Thanks, Phil. So yeah, drop your comments, share my video. This is my very first one, so I'm really excited. I just want to let you guys know about some cool things that I have coming up. So I am going to be launching my website very soon, SaharaRoseTravels.com, as well as my very first course. So I'm going to take all these awesome videos that I'm going to give you, which have a ton of free content, free information that I'm giving you, all of my tips, tricks, secrets. You can ask me any questions, I'll answer them for you. So I'll be sharing all of these, but in my course I'm developing that I will be able to put that all together and go really into the nitty gritty and to kind of customize and figure out for you exactly how you can implement all of that into your life, your desires, your wants, and how you can obtain the best, most fulfilled life through adventure and travel, and how you can incorporate more of a travel lifestyle into your life. So yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to go into my Q&A now. Let's see if anyone has any questions. Let's see. Not yet. All right, guys, I'll stick around for a couple minutes. So if you have any other questions, so like I said, please feel free to share this video. I'd love to answer all of the travel questions that you may have. So some of the other videos I'm going to be sharing with some of the topics are going to be, of course, the 5 elements of the money management, travel hacks, mindset, spiritual purpose, and how to take action. But I'm also going to be talking about budget accommodations, budget flights, and this getting over the stigma of hostels, or how to connect with people, how to stay safe when you're traveling. If you have any other travel questions or topics that you want me to cover, let me know. I will be sure to touch on all of those. How to obtain the most experience out of traveling, how to find what exactly you want out of traveling, depending on what you're interested in. So yeah, so thank you all so much for, oh yeah, so please, since my website's not up yet, please just follow me on Sahara Rose Travels, my Facebook page, where I'll be posting all these videos weekly, and feel free to drop comments and questions in on there as well, and I'll answer those for you. So thank you all so much for joining me. You guys are so sweet. I will see you guys soon.